Hi, and welcome to 15 Minutes of Fame. This is our 40th episode, if you can believe it. I'm Jeffrey Driscoll.
And I'm Jim Kerr.
Well, let's start on the ice, probably for the last time for a little while. Well, we'll find a way to put the NHL in there, I'm sure. But the Bruins take the Stanley Cup. The people of Vancouver take the downtown. What did you think of the series, Jim?
Well, it was an interesting one, right? Because
Yeah.
after two games, you thought, oh, boy.
No, yeah, I thought that was it.
Oh, boy. The Bruins can't score. Here we go.
Yeah.
And then they explode.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
And then it goes back to Vancouver, and you think, oh, well,
nothing.
Is it all for naught? And then that final game, I mean, I didn't expect a 4-0 scoreline.
No
I don't know if anyone did, but it was a very interesting up and down, high scoring yet low scoring, all about the goaltenders yet. Wow, the goalies were brutal.
Well, exactly.
Except Tim Thomas,
Except
of
for
course.
Tim Thomas. Did that surprise you that, Luongo was that bad, or is this guy, he's played in some big games and done all right, but he just didn't this time. Did that surprise you that much?
It surprised the 8-1 surprised me.
Yeah.
Partially that they kept him in for the entire 8 goals.
No kidding.
But it seems like every now and then he has those games, and I think that's something to worry about.
Totally.
We saw it against Chicago a few times over the last couple of years, and there's questions about him, I guess.
Big questions.
And I don't know if they're, as deserved maybe, but like he's a good goaltender when he's on. But
yeah. Well, that's exactly. But Marty Brodeur doesn't. He has bad games, but they're usually during the regular season, and they're never ever for a big game.
Yeah.
And Roberto Luongo more often than not doesn't seem to be able to handle the pressure. And I wonder I don't know if he's got to get a sports psychologist or what he's going to do, but. He'll have to figure it out. But Tim Thomas was lights out in the series, absolutely lights out. And, do you think that he should have had the Conn Smythe either way? Like if they had won or if they had lost?
I think it would have been a very tough argument to not give it to him had they lost.
Yeah.
Especially if it was a tight game. Maybe if he lets in 4.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know when they put the votes in or anything, but I don't know if there's been a performance goaltending-wise like that in a long time.
No, absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about the riots because, we've got to touch on the riots. Can you believe none of those people were Canucks fans?
It's amazing that none of them were Canucks fans.
Weird, yeah.
According to
everybody,
media, the team,
exactly.
I don't know.
These weren't hockey fans at all. These were...
Yeah. The Canucks fans should have gone as well and tried to stop it.
No, yeah, totally. Yeah, like that was going to happen.
Yeah, it was amazing that all those non-Canucks fans were decked out in
Canucks
all that
gear.
Canucks stuff.
Yeah, there was reports. There were reports about people bringing gas masks even beforehand.
It's not that they were all not Canucks fans, but
right.
I thought it was funny as someone mentioned that these anarchists, they would take the time to buy a $200 Vancouver Canucks jersey with the fight strap dangling out the back.
Right. Yeah. Let's talk.
Do the Canucks make skinny jeans?
Nice. I like it. Let's talk a little bit just for a second about the stupidity of some of these rioters. There's this great picture, and I'm sure you've all seen it by now, but my favorite picture of all is the guy looking at the camera, and he's got the rag stuffed in the gas tank of the cop car, and he's looking and like he's about to... what did you think was going to happen? You want
to know a funny story about that guy?
What's that?
He's a water polo player.
No way.
And he's been suspended by Water Polo Canada over the whole thing.
Good for Water Polo Canada, holding their ground. I like that. That's
water polo. They could have used some water on there.
That's right.
Maybe stop the cop car from burning.
The next big thing in the NHL is the awards ceremony coming up this week. Let's run through the big ones. Who do you got for the Hart?
Perry.
You really?
Goals. You got... And 50 goals, you can't ignore that.
Yeah. I just think the Perry wins by default because there's nobody else. Your Ovechkins and Ovechkin did no good this year, and your Sidney Crosby.
50 goals, man. Don't call it by default.
Well,
who else scored 50 goals this year?
Nobody, but how many assists did he get?
He had almost 100 points.
How many times did he beat Datsuk for absolutely no reason?
Well, he's a chirper, but
50 goals is 50 goals. You're right. 50 goals is 50 goals. Okay.
It's impressive.
How about the Vezina?
Tim
right?
Thomas?
Who else
Yeah,
is
right?
who else is gonna get that really?
I mean, Tim Thomas, he was outstanding in the regular season.
Yeah.
Even better in the playoffs.
How about the Norris defenseman?
It's a tough one.
This one is a tough one. That's why I like this one this year.
But I'm going to say Nick Lidstrom.
Well, that doesn't surprise me all that much.
No, I know, but I thought about it.
Yeah.
And the other candidates are very strong too.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I'm going to pick Nick Lidstrom.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough.
He did a plus minus aside. He was
Yeah.
he was better than the other two.
And Lidstrom's a great pick, and yeah, especially if this is last year, maybe I don't know. Who knows? That'd be a good one. How about the Selke?
No surprise.
Perennial.
No surprise.
Favorite,
Pavel
Datsyuk. Yeah. No, I like it very much. How about the Calder?
Skinner.
Yeah, I think that's who's going to win it too.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any doubt
There's some good competition there.
There is some good competition
for the rookie of the year, but
Mm.
Jeff Skinner, he had an outstanding year, and you know he's taken the town of Raleigh by storm.
He really has. How about the Jack Adams? Who's the coach that's going to win?
Hate to say it, but Vigneault.
I love Vigneault.
Aye.
Yeah, I don't mind it either. How about, the draft is coming up in a little while here. Once again, the Oil have the first pick. We've talked about it before, but who is your final, who do you think they should take?
My gut feeling is that they're going to go with the Nuge.
Yeah, the
Ryan
Nuge.
Nugent-Hopkins.
Just so that we can call him the Nuge from now on.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to, they'll like what they see playmaker-wise from him, and you can never have enough setup. Well, I guess you can't have enough setup guys if all you have is setup guys.
Right.
But he's I think one of the more well-rounded of the players. Maybe needs to put on a bit of size,
a couple of pounds, but
there's
he's
nothing
still
wrong
a
with
kid.
that.
He'll be fine.
Yeah.
I know I put on a couple of pounds after I turned 18, so I mean, if I can do it, then Nugent-Hopkins.
I'm trying to do the opposite now.
That's right.
Yeah, take off a couple of pounds.
Just get back to your fighting weight. No big deal. What about Sheldon Surrey? What's his? We got a 2-week period here now where the Oilers can actually do some stuff with him. What's going to go on there? Do you think?
Well, they could buy him out.
They can buy him out.
The reports say it'll be about $3 million.
Yeah.
Maybe he factors into a deal on draft day because there's always still the chance that the Oilers deal that number 1 pick. They've said that they'll listen. Yeah, they'll listen, and I'm sure you'd have to think that to pry that pick away from them.
Yeah.
You'd have to put together a pretty good package.
I would say so.
Yeah, and
that would involve taking Sheldon Surrey off our hands.
Yeah,
I would think.
But
I would hope.
But if it's something that the Oilers think will make them a better team right away, then we've had the first pick before.
Yeah, that's right.
It's kind of
That's right.
It's kind of old and tired now. We had it all last year, so.
Yeah, well, no
And we should have picked Sagan. Hey, you would have won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah. Guy had a great beard, though. Good for him. Another story coming out of the NHL. Well, actually out of the NHL and the KHL. Jaromir Jagr has told 5 teams, including the Pens, Wings, and Habs, that he's interested in coming back. Is he worth the risk? The guy's like 80 years old.
But he's been playing good. He's been playing well. At the right price, I'd say yes. He only wants a 1-year deal, from what I heard. Yeah, I'd kind of like to see what he's at 1,599 career points. So bring him back to get to 16.
Yeah, that's right. He's not coming to the Oilers, though, is he, Kersey?
No, I don't think so.
Definitely not.
No.
The Edmonton Eskimos.
Wait, but what about Hemsky?
What? Yeah, right. The Edmonton Eskimos kicked off their preseason on Friday with a 1-point loss to the Riders. The Esks went through a major overhaul on the offseason. Should we be excited for what's to come from them?
I think it's going to be an exciting year for the Eskimos.
I don't think it's going to be a winning year, but I think it's going to be an exciting year.
It could. Well, in the CFL, it's easy to turn the ship. They made so many changes in the offseason that you're not even, you hardly recognize the team.
No.
Which is why it could be a winning year.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And I love what I'm hearing from Kavis Reed. He wants them to be mean and nasty, and
I love it. That's great.
I mean, if this game coming up against the Stampeders will be exciting because I think they're going to try and send a message.
I like it.
Preseason
message? Go for it. Exactly. We're going to move on to the GABBYs now. These are good and bad by you. We take the best and the worst from the world of sport, and we talk about it here. How about giving a good to the North American Baseball League for giving fans a real bang for their buck? The Edmonton Capitals took 2 of 3 from the Chico Outlaws this week, and the two teams combined for 70 runs over those 3 games. You can go see, exactly. You can go see these 3 games for about $40. That's almost 2 runs for every dollar spent. Kersey, what do you think?
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I like it.
I mean. That's like you say, a bang for your buck.
Bang for your buck.
70 runs in 3 games.
Absolutely.
It's ridiculous.
I've been trying to go to a baseball game all year. I haven't had a chance yet, but as soon as it gets sunny again,
in Edmonton.
I was going to say, as soon as it becomes sunny, I'm going again.
All right, let's give a good to the city of Boston.
Yes.
Now, they just won the Stanley Cup, of course, but championships in Boston, I mean,
Happens all the
I don't
time.
know. I don't know if you know this, Jeff. But
Yes.
since 2002, 3 Super Bowls,
Yeah.
2 World Series, NBA championship, Stanley Cup,
They've had quite the run.
NCAA hockey national titles,
Mm-hmm.
3 of them. Boston University, Boston College. Even their MLS team has been to the final 4 times in that span.
That's fantastic.
What a town!
What a town. No, absolutely.
My dad was saying, do you think they'd be interested in a used City of Champions sign? GG?
Very old City of Champions sign, maybe.
But that is a lot of trophies.
That's fantastic.
Oh, can you imagine growing up there?
Totally, just all sports, it'd be fantastic, and they didn't riot.
No,
So-
there was 7 arrests from what I hear.
Ooh, 7 arrests. We have to give a good to Jason Terry of the Dallas Mavericks, who gets to keep his Larry O'Brien trophy tattoo. That was a that was a gutsy move, and he looks like genius now, which is fantastic.
Yeah, and you know, I got a 50.
I was just kidding.
Yeah, a 50 on my back.
Yeah.
I'd show you, but I wouldn't go off camera here. But,
That's right.
So 50 views, folks.
50 views, and the tattoo comes
Don't
out.
make me look stupid.
Any more stupid.
don't make me look stupider.
Yes, that's right.
On the bad side,
Yes.
Jeff, what happened to LeBron,
Oh, LeBron.
James? Speaking of basketball, his points per game average dropped by like 9 from the regular season to the postseason. Among guys that have scored 25 on average during the season, that's the biggest drop off ever.
Yeah.
And he disappeared in the fourth quarter.
Completely disappeared.
Disappeared. He 18 points over 6 games combined, not
Yeah.
18 per game, 18 combined. And of course, the Miami Heat fell short. What happened?
I don't know what happened. Really, maybe it was something about he was trying to make sure the rest of the team was scoring. Maybe he just didn't. Maybe he pulled a Luongo and just couldn't handle the big pressure. But like, I don't understand how he could play well for 3 quarters and not show up for the fourth quarter. A guy like this who's been playing not real big games, but has been playing at the top of his game for basically the past 7 years and his whole life, really. I can't imagine why he was doing that, and it absolutely boggles my mind.
I heard he's thinking of trying hockey out because there's only 3 periods.
There it is. Ooh, I like it.
Sorry,
it.
LeBron.
Still with basketball, a bad to Mark Cuban, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks. He says he's thinking of breaking with tradition and not giving out championship rings, Jim. He says he wants to take it to the next level. Dirk Nowitzki, my absolute favorite, says, I'm a man. I don't know how I'd feel about a bracelet. Yeah, I don't know,
I heard
Jim.
that the Miami Heat's owner isn't giving out rings either.
Oh.
So still on the bad as we move things along. Final bad goes out to Washington Wizards point guard John Wall. He of the Dougie.
Yes.
He threw out the first pitch of the game on Friday, and it hit the turf about halfway to home plate. I mean, pro athletes, come on, man. At least practice. Just maybe he was nervous, but I don't think that's the case. But it was one of the worst ones I've ever seen.
No, absolutely.
You expect that from a celebrity, not from a point. It was like a bounce pass. They said on the commentary, like, "Oh, that's all that was." Yeah.
If the president of the United States can throw a ball all the way there, right? A strike, totally. Then I think that a pro athlete should be able to do it.
Never mind. Teach me how to Dougie.
Yeah, that's right. Should be
Teach
doing
me
it at
about the
same
strike
time.
zone.
That's right. I can't believe it. I mean, I don't know
if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it, but I'm just saying.
But I think I could make it, even if it was just a lob. I think I could make it at least to.
Mine might look more like a foul ball.
Yeah. Where did it
Back
go?
catcher going.
Yeah,
Really, Jim?
Really. We're going to move on to quick hits here. This week we put a poll on our 15 Minutes of Fame Facebook page, which go check it out and like us.
Please like us.
Please like us. The question was, with the NHL season finally over, are you pleased with the outcome? An overwhelming majority said, well, not an overwhelming majority, but a majority said that they were just glad Vancouver didn't win. What do you think, Kersey? Is that your opinion?
I think so. Yeah, I don't know if I could take it. I think it'd be a much different mood around the country.
Yeah.
Because people, and they would have rioted anyway.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
They either look like sore winners or sore losers.
Either
Take your
way.
pick.
The CFL is back, Jim. What do you think about the Eskimos ad campaign where they made posters that looked like the front cover of EA Sports video games? Did you see those?
Yeah, I did see those.
What do you think about those?
I kept getting confused.
Like new EA Sports
really?
game that they're doing a CFL? Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Like Ricky Ray's the cover boy of CFL 11.
Weird. We should totally get a CFL 11.
We should get our own video game where
really
people
should.
do their own video.
Yeah, their own sports thing, and see if they can get up to as good as we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, that's our 15 Minutes of Fame up for this week. Join us again next week when we get a whole new 15 Minutes of Fame. And make sure to check out our podcast. Subscribe to that, and that way you can get an early look at the old video here. In the meantime, I'm Jeffrey Driscoll.
And I'm Jim Kerr.
Have a good week, folks.